Hello, let's do Wordle for Tuesday, October 28th. We spun the wheel yesterday, and we are starting with tread today. Wait till the end of the solve to learn what we're starting with tomorrow. Tread is all gray. Okay, that's unusual. Common letters, S, L, N. We have the E and the A gone, so I and O are kind of the good vowels. I'd be okay with any of them. I think sling might be good, or slink. I kind of want the G over the K. Although, if it's a CK word, getting the K is nice. But I've convinced myself to do slink instead. Spill would be interesting, but double L I don't really want to do. I think slink is fine. Let's just do it. All right, no K. We have an L. That's it. And L is not second. I love L to be second. It's starting to look like we might be a double L word or like an LLY word, so we could try that just to try to place the L. There's a lot of uli words. So actually, let's think about what uli words are left. Pulley is accepted, but the pulley you're thinking of has an E, so that's not going to be an answer. Fully for sure. Goalie. I wish I remembered which ones have been answers before, but I don't. Bully. Those are the big ones. So fully, goalie, and bully. So maybe we should try to think about using these three letters before we go straight into the uli trap. Although there are only three left, so if I just went for it, I could gamble it. If I can get something with these letters, I think that's better. B's love to be first. Something like half of all the five-letter words that have B start with B. Bulge, but there's no E. I wonder if bulgy is a word. Is that how you'd spell it? Let me give it a try. So it turns out sling would have been better because it got rid of that B, or that G. Let's try this. All right, it accepts it. Okay, it's not Oli, it's Ollie, actually. Oh, and I didn't even think about Ollie traps. There's a lot of these too. Polly, I'm not sure if Polly is a word. Folly for sure. Holly. So we got maybe Polly, Folly, Holly, Jolly. Molly's like a name. I think these are the big ones. Is there any way I can get two of these letters without, like in one guess? Because if I'm not convinced Polly is going to be an answer. Like, what would that mean? I wish I remembered if Folly, Holly, and Jolly have been answers before. Could I have done better? I'm not sure. Let's see. Is there... So I'm playing in hard mode, so I need to place that L and Y still. But I can reuse grays if I have to get a good filler in. But I think my best chance is doing LPY and then using an H or an F. But I don't think those are I don't think those are words. LFY doesn't seem good. So I may have to just gamble on Folly, Holly, Jolly and just hope for the best. And just hope that Polly is not the answer. I don't know what Polly would mean if it was the answer. Molly, it would accept it, but I don't think that would be an answer. Volley, I think normally would be EY, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Lolly, you always have to worry about lolly too. Shoot. Ah, there's too many. Folly, lolly, holly, jolly. I'd really love to use two of the letters in a guess then. But there may not be one left. FHJ. And then if we want to use the L, we'd have to start with L in order to know if it was lolly. That doesn't seem reasonable to start with L. It's only lolly if we're going to start with L, I'm pretty sure. So FHJ, we're back to trying to get two of these. Jolfy, Halfy, Hulfy, Healthy, Healthy. We're gonna eat very healthy. Will it accept it? No. Okay, I didn't think so. Jelfy, Jelly. I don't know. I wish I remembered which ones we've had before. That would help so much. I may have to turn off hard mode, but like I don't think there's any option other than it being the ollie trap at this point. Is there anything else that can go there? We have to consider it. Yeah, I think it's just the ollie trap. Darn. Okay, well, the problem is there's 4 answers and 3 guesses, right? So if I do folly, holly, jolly, and the answer is lolly, I lose. So we got a 1 in 4 to lose since I don't remember what's been the answer before. Is there really not? I could come up with a filler pretty easily if I were to turn off hard mode. I'm trying very hard not to, though. Before I guessed Bulgy, I should have thought about the ollie trap. That was my mistake. I'm just not seeing an option to do it. Like unless it accepts Halfy, Halfy, Haffy. No. Healthy. We tried. Hilfy. So we did A, E, I. We could do O, U, Y. Hilfy. All right, and we could try with. No, the J's not going to be any good. Starting with L. Lolfy. Lolhy. Lolgy. Yeah, that's not going to help. All right. Well, for this guess, I'm going to confirm the ollie trap and just maybe get lucky. So do I want to do folly, holly, jolly, or lolly? If I do end up doing a filler next guess, has lolly been the answer before? I can't remember. I was going to say the best chance I'm able to do a filler is just to do lolly. I guess I could pre-think about what filler I might want to do. So if I was going to do a filler, a pure filler out of hard mode, how would I... What would be the best way to do that? J is really... So maybe I would guess jollies, because then I could just do F. I could do like flash, right? So if I do jolly, and it's not jolly, then afterwards I could turn off hard mode and do flash. And that'll tell me about folly and holly. Oh, but no, flash doesn't tell me about lolly, though. That's the issue. I'd have to start with L. So, okay, let's think harder. Not easy. Lof H. And I'm already discounting Polly and Molly, by the way. Just saying those won't be the answer. That's hopefully they aren't. So if I don't guess lolly, I have to do L first. If I do guess lolly, then I have to use a J. I mean, I technically can just use the F and the H, so flash would actually be okay. I think. No, it's not okay. I got folly, holly, jolly, and lolly. Okay, so then if I did lolly and then flash We get rid of the F and the H. Then jolly would be it. Okay. So I think I'm okay going for, for some reason I'm thinking lolly might not be on the answer list. So I'm gonna go for jolly then. All right. I think I have. I mean, so in hard mode, if I think lolly's not on the answer list, in hard mode I could go folly then holly. I'm a little concerned though that it could be lolly. So doing flash tells me if it's folly or holly. And then if it's neither of them, then I know it's probably lolly, although there's still Polly and Molly. Is that how you spell phlegm? Because that would get me Polly, Holly, and Molly. And then if it's not those, it would be... Oh, no, the problem with... Oh, yeah, no, it gets Polly, Holly, Molly. But I don't know the difference between lolly and folly then. And those are two that I think might be more likely to be the answer. So I can't do L second. I have to do L first if I'm going to be testing lolly. And that makes it much harder to get the FPHM. I need the F. If I start with L, I also need the F or the H, for sure. I mean, at this point, I think I do need to turn off hard mode, so I'm going to do that. Hard mode's off. And then, because I don't like when hard mode turns into just a gamble like this. I don't think there was a way to save myself after Bulgy. So, Flash is an option if I don't think Polly and Molly are options. But if I do think Polly and Molly are options, I would want to include more of these letters. Is like something like humph accepted? Is that good enough? Holly, Molly, Polly. No, I don't tell the difference between folly and lolly, and that's bad. So starting with L would be great, but if I don't start with L, I need F and H for sure. And then getting the M and P, like it's a tall order. I don't think I can do it. So let's say we don't. Let's say Polly might be an answer, but not Molly. Can I get these three letters in a word in any way? I would think a PH word maybe would work. But starting with PH and then including an F somewhere seems difficult. We're like, darn it. These are not easy letters to put together. Okay, if we say that Molly's not going to be an answer, then I could do Puffy. Something along those lines. Because that tells me about Polly and Folly. I was also thinking I could do... Oh, no, so I still need to worry about Lolly. That's the issue. Right. Keep forgetting about Lolly. Lolly, Polly, Holly, Folly are reasonable things. If I was going to exclude one of them, it would be Polly. I would need three of these, and if I include the L, it has to be first. I'm really not seeing a word. Huh. I have this memory that the bot doesn't consider Lolly to be an answer. And Polly. So if that was the case, I didn't have to turn off hard mode. But if I guess Flash, then if it's not the F or H, then I will guess lolly, because I think lolly's more likely than Polly. So we're gonna do flash, it turns out. All right, it was Holly. Okay. So in this case, I didn't technically have to turn off hard mode if Polly and Lolly are not considered on the answer list. I don't know for sure. All right. Well, difficult solve. Had to turn off hard mode for that one. Normally I try very hard not to, but there was no way forward without gambling unless I was right about Polly and Lolly not being options. And Molly. All right. Let's spin the wheel to see what we are starting with tomorrow. All right. Pamalam suggests up by. So tomorrow we will be starting with up by. That's a fun one. I haven't seen that before. All right, let's do the bot analysis and see if the bot would have had a better time here. All right, playing in hard mode. We started, the answer was Holly, and we started with tread. Okay, so I did slink. It wants clops or punch. I wonder if by the time we do slink, if it's already saying we might lose. Okay, yeah, your score for slink was not a 100% solve rate. Might lose on mushy, molly, lolly, and junkie. Oh no. So it's considering molly and lolly to be answers. So I might have gotten very lucky here. Holy cow. Okay. So it's going to go with, but now, for some reason, it doesn't know that these aren't the answer though. So why are we not in a failure state here? That's interesting. It suggests gulch or lymph. I went for bulgy. Might lose on jolly. Interesting. So something's weird with this bot here that it said slink might lose, but then now it's saying it's not going to lose. So I'm a little bit confused by that. Anyway, I gotta put bulgy back in. So now it's saying we're going to lose on the ollie trap. We got folly, holly, jolly, lolly, molly. So Polly was not on the answer list. Okay, so Collie and Wally would have been accepted as well. So we actually do have to worry about Lolly and Molly, unfortunately. So it might actually at this point be a good idea to memorize which ollies have been the answer before. I just went straight up jolly here, which it says at this point doing filmy as a filler gets you folly and molly, or hulky gets you holly. And what else does it get? What does hulky get? It doesn't get anything else. Why is hulky better than holly? That I don't understand. That seems weird. All right, but I went jolly, and then from here, yeah, there wasn't a save in hard mode where we had a 50% chance of losing because it was folly, holly, lolly, molly. Now it happened to be that I wasn't gonna lose because I only thought folly and holly were on the answer list, and it happened to be holly as the answer. So if we go back to easy mode from here, lymph was the way to save ourselves. So it starts with L, so that gets you lolly, and then we get molly and polly and holly. Wow, that's the word I was looking for, lymph. Darn, I wish I'd thought of it. That would have been cool. I went with flash. And so that made it holly because the H turned yellow, so that was lucky. All right. Let's look at its hard mode solve. So from tread, it does clips. We could do plush, which I think is about the same, but let's go with this clips here. Now it's going to go straight to goalie, which is interesting. That's going to lock in that LLY. Oh, I'm in easy mode. Hold on. How did I end up back in easy mode? All right, clops, then limbo. Okay. Limbo's interesting. Gets rid of lolly and molly. I don't know what the B is for. Now we're going to do a hard mode filler of golfs to get rid of golly and folly. And now we're down to just holly jolly. and we just guess them in some order. Okay, so that it had to really like, yeah, it was at this guess 4 after limbo that it's like it's the ollie trap. I need to do a filler. So we would do golfs or flown or ghoul or flogs. There was no potential answer that would save us. Oh, maybe it was getting rid of folky when it was getting that K earlier. All right. Interesting. All right, let's look at the tails solve. It's going to go filch. Wow, after filch we get the H, which is very lucky. So we're either holly or hulky. So give it a 3 or 4. From steel, we go folic. And now we're going to do another hard mode filler, holds. And then holly. Okay, it gets lucky from that L. I wonder, I guess this gets rid of dolly. Holds gets rid of dolly. Adieu. We're going to go torch. And then booth. That's a hard mode filler right there. Booth, oomph, or pooch. Yeah, I didn't have any to filter to the top because hobby is 2.5. But yeah, it's going to go booth. And then holly or hoppy because we got that H. So yeah, very trappy word today. All right. Audio might lose. In fact, it's exactly the ollie trap it's concerned about. It's going to go lofty. And then now at this point, we're down to golly, holly, jolly, jowly, and molly. Jowly is crazy. And it's just going to pick ones. And it just happens to pick holly correctly, but it could easily lose. That's 6 already. All right, so audio loses on the ollie trap sometimes. Trace tries to get in 2. I don't think it's going to get in 2. Wow, in fact, it might lose. Pushy, yeah, it loses on jolly. Okay, hoodie, and then hobby, holly. All right, not great today for trace. And then let's look at place. We got to be careful with place. I do wonder if the bot loses today. We'll have to see. Guilds. Ooh, and we get lucky with hulky here, which gets us to holly right away. Okay. Cool. Well, let's check with the official bot. I bet we have a pretty high loss rate today. 70 skill, 33 luck, 6 steps. I'm wondering if it's going to analyze in hard mode. No, it's doing its yeah, because I ended in non-hard mode, so it's doing the non-hard mode analysis. Tread was a strong opening guess. Unlucky. Slink, terrific choice. One of the top picks. Okay. Bulgy, solid guess. Narrowed it down to the ollie trap. Jolly was a good guess, but limp would have been more efficient. Yeah. Okay, so I need to remember limp for the ollie trap in the future. But again, holly's been the answer now, so I don't know. Flash cut the number of words to 1, but was a risky guess. If the solution had been molly, it might have relied on luck. Yeah, so it would again go limp. Limp was the only way out. And then we do holly here. So it does slate dilly, getting right into the illy trap, then forge as a filler. Getting rid of folly and golly. I don't know what the R is for. Maybe it just has to. And then it does lymph, which is the secret sauce, and then holly. If only I thought of lymph. All right. 0.6% starting with holly is very high. That's interesting. 0.4% starting with tread. That's a popular starting word. All right. We have an 85.5% solve rate. So 14.5% failure rate is really high. And this is not even hard mode. I wonder if hard mode actually has a higher solve rate. Sometimes it does. I can't check hard mode though. All right. I suppose I could, I don't know. Can I incognito do it? There is a way to do it. You can like screenshot it. I might do that today. I'll get that going. All right. But people lost on jolly, folly, golly, lolly, dolly, molly, polly, wally. Wow. Okay. Let me do that. So I'm going to go back. Let's see if we can figure out how to do this together. So here I can upload a screenshot of a completed Wordle. So let me go back to my Wordle, which should be here. And I'm going to screenshot this. Oh, you know what? I probably have to do a solve that doesn't have a filler in order to... Okay, so I'm going to incognito tab. I'll just make a screenshot real quick. Let's open Wordle in incognito so I can screenshot. Let's do the bots solve from Tread. So Tread, oh, let me make sure hard mode's on. So the bot did Tread. Let me load this up. Not this bot, this bot. So from Tread, in hard mode, it goes Clops, and then Limbo, and then Golfs, and then Holly. Okay. So Tread, Clops, Limbo. I wonder if it would accept a screenshot from this. Golfs, and then Holly. All right. And then we'll screenshot that. And then I should be able to load this from a screenshot. Oh, I have to save it somewhere. Okay. This is work, but I'm curious today. Holly.png. All right. Upload. Where are you? There you are. Analyze using hard mode. Okay, perfect. So it thinks our bot has a skill of 89 and luck of 34. All right. I'm curious. It doesn't like these guesses, but it's because it's bad at the game. All right. So it does place dills, folly, jolly, holly. So let's look at our bot and do place dills and see how many ollies are left. Place dills. All right. So there's bully, folly, fully, golly, goalie, holly, holly, jolly, lolly, and molly. And so when it guesses folly next, it would lose on some of these words. It would lose on molly, lolly in this case, but yeah. So it can lose on the lolly trap. It will lose on the ollie trap at some point. Just not on holly. I don't know what order it does them in, but it got lucky. Okay, so Tread is 0.4% start. Holly is 0.3% start. So we have more cheaters in non-hard mode than hard mode, but there are cheaters in both. And then our solve rate is 84.4%. That's actually fairly comparable. It's about 1% worse. And people losing on the same exact words. All right, that's what I wanted to know. I think a lot of people who aren't playing hard mode may as well turn on hard mode with the way they play this game. Anyway, cool. That's the analysis for today. I like to do extra analysis when it's a difficult word like this one. Let me know how you did. If you want to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all of the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.